All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It's Monday, November the 19th, the year 2018. It's getting to be too much, you know, it's just too much. Something's going to have to break at some point in time. When I refer to the prisons at Marion, Illinois and Terre Haute, Indiana as being satanic, where they torture people and murder people, and, you know, Schaefer's been reported to have scurvy, could be dying of scurvy. We just recently learned that a man who I have communicated with and I believe was probably a good friend of Schaefer Cox has been murdered. His name was Robert David Neal. I talked to him on the phone. I've got letters from him. He was on the verge of a huge lawsuit against Charles E. Samuels Jr. If you look up, who's that guy, John Oliver? BOP director, hold on just one second. BOP director Charles Oliver. Yeah, this is it. You need to go watch this video. Solitary prison cell size last week tonight with John Oliver. Okay, this guy in the video right here, this black dude, his name is Charles E. Samuels Jr. For a long time, he was the Bureau of Prisons director, the head dude within the whole Bureau of Prisons, his top dog. And if you watch this video, you'll see his mentality. I mean, he's so stupid, he can't even like put together a sentence to respond to the congressman's questions. And yet they had him as a yes man inside the BOP, as director of the BOP. So you definitely got to watch this video. It's called Solitary Prison Cell Size Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. This video is Hakeem Abdul Shahid, my story. He gives an account of outright torture within Marion Prison. This book right here, Let Freedom Ring, a collection of documents from the movements to free U.S. political prisoners. You guys see that? United States political prisoners. It's edited by Matt Meyer. On page 73, it talks about how they implemented a program to implement 24 points of Chinese thought reform. Hold on, let me get the exact number. Yeah, 24 points. I remembered it correctly. 24 points of Chinese thought reform to break the will of the man. Just tonight, I learned that last week, okay, yeah, what happens when you try to go to this website, it's at the Tribune Star, is it brings it up for like 1 second, and then it goes into private mode detected. But for that 1 second, I grabbed it. I did a Control-A, Control-V very, very quickly, and I got the text, and I wanted to read it to you guys. Okay, let's make it very, very big. So I got the text from the Tribune Star, and what it says is, death of a Terre Haute federal prisoner under investigation. Now there's, did you guys know that Dylan Roof is in Terre Haute CMU. Robert David Neal is in Terre Haute CMU. Russell Landers is in Terre Haute CMU. Schaefer Cox is in Terre Haute CMU. Kurt Johnson is in Terre Haute CMU. Let's go on to read this. An investigation continues into Saturday's death of an inmate at the federal prison in Terre Haute. The manner of death of Robert David Neal, which was a prisoner that I was communicating with, was a homicide. Let me read that again. The manner of death of Robert David Neal, 68, was a homicide. Vigo County Coroner Susan Amos said Wednesday she declined to release further information about his death due to the ongoing investigation. Information about the incident has been requested from the Children of Satan, also known as the FBI. Neal was serving a sentence of 327 months for wire fraud. See how vague that term is? He was sentenced in the U.S. District Court of Northern Texas. He was indicted by a federal grand jury in connection with a scheme to fraudulently sell insurance to businesses. Okay, listen. Robert David Neal was on the verge of a massive victory and lawsuit against this man right here, Charles E. Samuels Jr. I got 3 letters from these 3 letters right here. You guys see this? This is a manila envelope with my first letter from Robert David Neal. This is my second letter right here. And this is the 3rd letter. It's incredible legal information and also outside contacts about a victory that he's expecting to win. And he said there's no way they can beat him. Now, I did call one of the contacts tonight to see if they were aware that Robert David Neal had been murdered in Terre Haute, Indiana. The man that answered the phone was absolute shock. He said, no, I didn't know. He said that he had a father who had spent time in prison in Terre Haute, and that they also knew that Robert David Neal was on the verge of a massive lawsuit victory. Do you guys not see the writing on the wall? Do you guys not see how evil Warden J. Bell is? The man won't even allow gospel tracts into the prison. He's banned me. He's banned my wife. He's banned my friends from communicating inside the prison.
I just have one thing to add.
My wife has something to add. Do you want to come over to the camera? Or?
No, it seems like anytime there's a political prisoner taken into custody...
You're going to have to speak up. Can maybe...
You can repeat it.
Okay.
The media can print all kinds of stuff, but when it's not good for them...
Oh, there's nothing. You can, yeah, okay. The point my wife is making is when a political prisoner gets railroaded in a satanic courtroom, they print the most ungodly things you can imagine, whether it be congressman. Help me out with the congressman's name. It's getting to be too much. Yeah. Congressman Steve Stockman has hundreds of articles written about him, about how bad he is. Schaefer Cox was written up in the Southern Poverty Law Center about how bad he is. But when they have someone murdered in prison, you can't find a peep. I mean, even this article, you see how I had to bring it up? I have to like collect it real quick because it goes into private mode and they want me to pay money. I ain't gonna pay money to read a 1 paragraph. So anyway, listen, I want you, this I already told you about this guy. I want you guys to listen to Robert David Neal when he called me on the phone. Now, this man was murdered in prison. He was about to win a victory against the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons, specifically calling out Charles E. Samuels Jr. You been to CMU prisons at either Terre Haute, Indiana or Marion, Illinois? I'm just curious.
I'm in the CMU in Terre Haute right now. Wow.
Okay. I'm very interested in what goes on in those CMU prisons because I do believe that they do torture you guys. I don't doubt that one bit.
Well, the reason I'm here is a very simple fact, and it's in some. You may not have gotten that far yet, but there was a writ issued out of federal court in Los Angeles ordering my release from prison, and they didn't want to do that because I'm a political prisoner, and so rather than do that within an hour after the writ was served, I was on my way on a van out of state and ended up here. And when I got here, they closed off all my contacts. This call to you today is the second call I've had in 4 years.
Wow.
I'm not allowed to call. I'm not allowed to call out, and but I'm in the process. This entire matter is on its way to arbitration pursuant.
Did you hear what he said? That his call to me was the second phone call he got out in 4 years. Listen, every single thing I have from Robert David Neal, who was murdered in prison, has been put on a Dropbox. And I'm going to put the link to the Dropbox under this video. But I strongly believe, that the wicked, evil reprobates who have a satanic secret prison set up or outright murdered Robert David Neal because they knew that he was a political prisoner. They knew that he was someone who was going to hold them accountable. And I believe they either set him up to be murdered, which is very easy to do. You get another inmate who's already spending life in prison and you promise them some, extra food or something, or, extra time on the playpen where they get out 1 hour a day, and just go murder this guy and we'll let you have some extra food. Or they just murder him themselves. They don't care. There's no transparency. And this is the same type of people that are supposedly watching over Schaefer Cox, who has reports of scurvy. Listen, it's a very serious thing that the man you heard has been murdered in prison. They're not supposed to get murdered in prison. They can't even protect people in prison? Are you kidding me? Listen, there are some very evil people that run Marion, Illinois CMU and Terre Haute, Indiana CMU. Warden J.R. Bell is one of them. Okay? The case manager for Schaefer Cox is a man by the name of Swift. I put his phone number up on 2 videos ago. Warden B. True and Warden J.R. Bell are 2 devils from hell. I mean, we've got their names. We know where they are. And we still allow this to go on in American soil? Why is not every congressman and every mainstream news reporting on this? Why do I got to be the only people yelling about it on a YouTube channel that hardly anybody listens to? You got to be kidding me. There are people being murdered and tortured in secret hellhole prisons, and nobody gives a damn. This man was making phone calls. He only made 2 phone calls in 4 years. One of them was to me. And all the videos I did on Robert David Neal are right here. Let me make the font bigger. Okay? My first phone call, Robert David Neal calls from CMU prison. He put out a press release. He called the Terre Haute America's Harshest prison criminal racketeering scheme. He put out a bio and background information on his case if you want to read about that. He's requesting legal help and awareness. All of that came from this man seeking help from the outside, and now they've murdered him. Now, I don't even have a picture of him, but what are we going to do? He was a friend of Schaefer Cox, and Schaefer Cox, nobody's heard from him in like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe 10 days. I don't know. They won't let me talk to him. Well, listen to me. If these prisons were righteous and they were doing the right thing, why would they care how many letters Schaefer Cox sent out? Why would they care if Schaefer Cox made a phone call to me? The reason they got to shut up Schaefer Cox and try to kill him with scurvy, the reason they got to shut up Russell Landers, the reason they got to shut up Kurt Johnson is because they know that they're wicked. They know how bad they are. And they know that if these men were able to speak the truth, they would fall. Because these men inside the prison are telling the truth. But the prison's got to shut them up. They either got to kill them, torture them, break their spirit with Chinese thought reform, or they just got to silence them by cutting off all their phone calls and blocking anybody who talks to them. Listen, if you want to read about Robert David Neal, there's his Dropbox. He was on the verge of a huge lawsuit against Charles E. Samuels Jr. He was going to win. Hakeem Abdul-Shahid talks about torture. We got phone calls from this man, and now he's been murdered in prison. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to sit around and just let them kill us? Let them take our guns? Let them do red flag laws? Is that the kind of American you want to grow up in? Is that the kind of legacy you want to leave? That's not the kind of legacy I want to leave. I say we give glory to God and just yell the truth no matter how loud and whoever it upsets, and we call them out by name. Warden J.R. Bell and Warden B. True are wicked, evil whores who've whored out their soul for filthy lucre. But some of us see what's going on, and some of us are going to talk about it.